I'm Bettye Quinn, and I am an associate professor here at Belhaven, and I am beginning my 52nd year here. However, my connection with Belhaven was longer because I came here first as a student, and then 8 years later I came back as a professor, and I have a degree from Belhaven, one from Mississippi College, and extra work from Mississippi State. Well, I think one of the things that makes Belhaven so special is that it is not large. When I came here as a student, I had come from a very large high school, and it was so good to be in a class where you could know everybody and where your professors could know you. And when I came back, although Belhaven had grown and had more people, we still had that very small classroom, less than 20 usually, and you knew everybody in your group. And the professors knew you and had a special personal connection with the people in the class. And I think that's something you miss when you go to a real big school. We've got a lot of new buildings, and the buildings that are old and that we love have been redone so that they look very modern to us. I think our student body has been consistently really good students. All my years I've been so proud of the students we've had and how they have scored well on all their tests. And now that I've been here this long, I've lived to see my students be, principals and college professors themselves, writers of books, doctors and lawyers and all sorts of things. So it's wonderful to see the result of the years of working. One time somebody asked me what was the most spiritual thing that ever happened here, and Belhaven does emphasize our spirituality part, was that 9/11 happened on a Tuesday, and we were all on our way to chapel. And all the people just rose from New York to speak and tell what they knew about it, and Dr. Parrott had other people come in and have great prayers. And the choir, having no idea what was going to happen that day, had already prepared their song, and it was "He Has Never Failed Me Yet." And it was the most wonderful group, 1,000 people in there listening to that and wondering what was going to happen to America and to the world, and yet feeling this great confidence in that. One that the students might remember, those from the 70s would remember, that our basketball team eventually was so good we were going to go to the NAIA playoff, and we played Jackson State, who had won the NAIA playoff the year before, and we beat them in triple overtime, and it was so exciting. We clapped so much I broke the blood vessels in my hand. But that was a great day. But the first great basketball event we had was after many years of not winning a game. We beat Millsaps, and the president, Cleveland, then declared a holiday. And that's the only holiday we've ever had declared, and I thought that was interesting. I've seen the singing tree ever since 1937 when I was 2. And I was allowed to be a part of it for 10 years. I would sing on it. So I said I've sung on the tree more than anybody dead or alive. But I've always been there to see it. And it's so good not only for the music majors, but everybody gets to participate in it if they want to. And I think it's an experience unlike any other, and it's a unique experience for Belhaven because Ms. Caldwell, our music teacher of the years past, thought up that idea of having this tree, platform shaped like a tree, and having the people sing at Christmas. And for a long time, it was the major event in Jackson. It introduced Christmas to the town. We always wanted it to snow, and you know how it almost never snows in Jackson. And sometimes they would throw out ivory flakes to try to make it look like snow, or they would throw out paper to make it look like snow. And then one year, I wasn't singing on that year, but I was watching it, and that made it even more exciting. It started snowing while they were starting to sing Let It Snow, and of course the next 2 songs were about snow too. And by the time they finished the tree, the whole bowl was snow. It was just, and everybody who was there was just thrilled. Well, I had many favorite professors. One was Dr. Robert Cooper, and he was a Phi Beta Kappa and one of the two great Greek and Sanskrit scholars in America at the time. And he was just a wonderful professor. Not a lot of people took Greek, so we got to have a lot of interaction with him. But he was a real Southern gentleman, and I was invited all this class to his house, and his wife would cook for all of us. Another professor I loved was Dr. Sparkman, who taught Spanish. And he not only taught Spanish, he wrote the Spanish books to teach you Spanish, and then he wrote Spanish books to teach people English. The quality of our professors here were great. Our Bible teachers were Morton Smith and Norman Harper, who started the seminary, but they were the Bible teachers when I was here. And our Bible department has always had the most outstanding people. Julia Scott, Walter Elwell, Davis, Ralph Davis, Knox Chamberlain, Guy Waters. I think nobody could ever say they'd had a greater collection of scholars in that area than Belhaven. We had this boy running for student body president, and he had a helicopter fly over and drop out pamphlets that said, "The Lord wants you to vote for Joel Richardson." And he became a Baptist preacher. You know, he did win. He was the student body president. But another naughty thing they did was they took the big boy from Shoney's and put him in the lagoon. So he woke up one morning, and there he was by the fountain. And the poor maintenance department had to take him back. One group one time had themselves locked in the Lancaster dorm, and the bottom was the cafeteria and the top floor was the library. So when the cafeteria opened, there was not a single fork or spoon there, and people had to eat their grits with their toes and fingers. Then they opened the library at 9, and every table in the library was set with all this silverware. And just think how long it took those boys running up down those stairs doing all that. And those boys are grown men now, some of them retired, but they're still funny people. When I'm teaching literature for children, everybody has to dress as a book character from a child's book. And then we go to different schools and present this program. And it's so interesting to me to see who they choose and how they dress. And sometimes it's just amazing. Like one time we were going down to First Pres to present our program, and the Tin Man couldn't get in a car because he was all in cardboard that looked like a Tin Man. And walking with him was a girl dressed like Papa Bear in that suit that you get from Smokey the Bear. And the cars were just stopping, watching the Tin Man and the bear walking down the street. Or one time, one of our girls was coming in her Raggedy Ann outfit, and the trucks were just stopped on Highway 49 looking at Raggedy Ann driving down the road. But anyway, I think we try to do practical things that you'll really do with children. And so a good part of what my students do is they teach and I critique them. And it's so interesting to see what they choose to do and how they do it. And some of their science experiments are just outstanding. I'm just, always real proud of them that they find those and can, present them to us. Well, I think if they came, they would find that Belhaven lives up to its name, which is beautiful home, and that they would find the most caring professors for them. There are lots of stories how our people have taken people into their homes and helped them, given them cars, taken them to the doctor's office, all sorts of things like that. And yet they have this big city where they can have all kinds of experiences here. And we give them a choice of any kind of school to go to do their student teaching, a private school, a public school, a inner city school, or school for the gifted. And they have such a wide range of experiences here. Plus, Jackson gives you an opportunity to know about all the arts. And Belhaven has always been a forerunner in the arts. As you know, we started the symphony orchestra. Belhaven started the opera guild. Always, the Belhaven students have participated in all of those things in the city. And as a student, you would get to be firsthand on the line to know all about these and be a part of these events. And our arts departments have really grown. I mean, we had a great choir in the 60s under Mr. Ford. And then after that, the music department has just grown. And then the art department has really grown. We have a special building for that. And then the dance, of course, we're one of the few places that have that dance program. Maybe the only one in Mississippi, I'm not sure, but I don't think anybody can hold a candle to our dancing program. And a lot of those have taken classes from me too. And I tell you, the dancers are really smart and good students. And they come from all over the country. And that's another thing here in Belhaven is our people are not just from Mississippi. I have them list for me where they were born and then where they live in the beginning of the year. And it's always 10 or 12 states and 4 or 5 foreign countries and many counties, you know, in Mississippi. But I think you go to college to experience the world. And here you're going to get to see people from all countries. And it's been interesting to me that some of our people who won awards have been from these foreign countries too. So they've come to Belhaven and have experienced our life and mastered it, you know. And I think they'll go back and tell our story where they are.